Before we get into the video and watch the game, let me ask you all a question. Bundle galore, if you haven't seen enough. Starts July 10th, ends July 31st. And I guess this is like a battle pass, and you've got to complete a full battle pass. I didn't look into the details, but this is the loot. July 10th to July 31st? 21 days? In July? Are you guys going to play 21 days in July? Like 5 hours a day of World of Tanks? Is that how desperate Wargaming is now to get the player numbers up? 21 days? A battle pass marathon? Yeah, I'm not going to go to the beach or enjoy my summer. I'm going to sit in front of the computer and grind this stuff for 21 days straight, 10 hours a day, so that I can get some of, what am I going to get? Their voices. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to lock yourself in your basement and not get any sunshine and let your vitamin D levels decrease and play the game for 21 days until you get the Laura voice. Let me know in the comment section. I'll tell you one thing for sure. For sure. You'll and I haven't even checked, but I guarantee you're going to see the CCs now do their token "we disapprove of this" and Wargaming's plan to try and make up for the backlash that they're enduring because they threw one of their own under the bus. Oh, that's Wargaming. I'm very upset with their plan for the new battle pass. Oh, I'm not sure if I can fully support the battle pass as it is now. But let's get into the video, okay? If you want to hear the rant, watch yesterday's video. Watch the last 25 seconds of it. You don't even have to watch the whole thing. What we're going to... the topic today is good light tank, bad light tank. And right, can you see on the screen? You have a good light tank and a bad light tank. This guy in a super Hellcat is platooned with another super Hellcat and a light tank, AMX 1357, who is a smart light tank, who is, let's just see him here. He's right there in this bush, and he's detecting people, but he's not taking any damage himself. This is a hard concept for a lot of players to understand. Whereas the LTG, right there, is also a light tank, and he's moved into position to detect enemies, but unfortunately, he's also being detected himself. And as you can see, he's lost half his HP. And I have not seen this game yet, live, but I will bet I will shut down my channel and never do another video if this LTG survives another 5 minutes. Because this game is not rocket science, but this is one thing that it's a concept that some players have to be reminded of, or they have to think of. And that's this. The object of the game... I'm sorry, I shouldn't use the word object because it instills the vision of about 20 overpowered tanks that are in the game. One of the key parts of the game mechanics is this. It's a lot safer to detect enemies. Bye-bye LTG, my channel is safe. It's a lot safer to detect enemies when you do not put your tank at risk. And it's easy to detect enemies when you don't put your tank at risk. You can detect enemies and put your tank at risk by being detected, and then you'll probably die. And on certain maps, not all maps, some maps, you're a light tank and you go, oh, I got Himmelsdorf, oh, I got Ensk. Then you just have to try and do as much damage as you can and use your mobility. But on certain maps, turn Ensk and Himmelsdorf off and maybe turn Paris off. Paris is okay. On a lot of maps, like Camp in a Bushka or Camp in the whatever the fucka, a light tank rule. The team with the good light tanks wins and the team with the bad light tanks loses. And it's as simple as that. Because if you don't play light tanks or you disagree with me, if you're a heavy tank player or a medium tank player, SPG, whatever. Most of the time when you're playing on the Camp and Abushka maps, the only reason you're shooting enemies is because someone's spotting them for you. And usually that's a light tank. Sometimes the matchmaker doesn't put one in, but you follow what I'm saying. Good light tanks win games on Camp and Abushka. Bad light tanks lose games, and the team is completely dependent on them. It's the most important class when you get these maps. And what you saw that LTG do at the beginning of the game was active spotting, where he put which means he tried to detect enemies, but he was detected himself, so he was doing actively. And now you'll notice that his teammate, the AMX 1357, took an aggressive position, and he's actively spotting, and he's lost almost all his HP. But he chose to do that later in the game when there's not as many enemies, knowing he has support. Not at the beginning of the game. So I probably would have been a little bit more cautious than he was, but his move seems to be paying off. We're going to check the post-game stats on both the light tanks on this team and the light tanks on the enemy team and how they perform. So active spotting. Claus, you should active spot. You can't just camp in the bushes like a pussy. Well, you can actively spot in a light tank, but the correct way, the best way of doing it is, and you can see the really good players do this, when there's undulations or topography or cover, you drive around in your light tank, or any tank, but I'm just talking about light tanks, and all you have to do is poke your viewport, which is usually on top of your tank. You just have to poke your viewport over the lip of the topography as you, like a snowboarder, carving a turn. You drive to this ridgeline and you just poke your viewport over the ridgeline and pull away. You detect everyone. But all the enemies see is the tiny little top of you for a second. You're active spotting. But you're not actively dying. And that's a concept that a lot of players can't. They can't figure it out, or they can't do it, or you're just not very good at that, and then they don't play light tanks. Hopefully they don't play, because if they don't know how to do that and they're playing light tanks and they're on your team on these maps, you will lose. And the enemies, I think, had two light tanks that didn't really know how to play light tanks, and they're going to lose. And this team has the AMX 1357 that knows what he's doing. And we're going to compare the LTG, who moved way up there at the beginning, compared to this AMX 1357, what their results were in this game. Oh, Russian Cloak of Dispersion saved, of course. That's also a part of the game that you need to understand, but we're not going to discuss in this video. If a light tank can last till the mid to end game, now there's only 6 enemies, he can become quite a threat, especially one with an autoloader like that AMX 1375. One-on-one at the end, he's a beast. But he has lost a lot of his HP, unfortunately. And he lost the HP because he made an aggressive active spotting move early in the game. Relatively early. That one you can... It's a toss-up. Was it a good move? Was it a bad move? It was a good team move. I think it's helping the team win. But maybe not for him. Maybe not the best move. They would have still won if he'd approached it a little bit more cautiously. But hey, very calculated move for the team. Because he had all his HP when he went in there. He lost it quickly though, didn't he? As soon as you're detected as a life tank, as soon as you're detected as a light tank, everyone shoots you because you're an auto pen. No one's going to shoot an E100 or a mouse or an object, whatever the fuck, if there's a light tank right beside it. Everyone shoots the light tank. A Russian Cloak of Dispersion disperses shot into heavily armored pixel Yuri. Plus, if you survive as a light tank later in the game, you can be the eyes for your team. And I want when you guys play on these maps and you have a good game in your TD, you do 6,000 damage in your TD, and you go, wow, I had a good game. I had a good game. And then you check the... Everyone get out. This vehicle's had it. When you think you've had a good game and then you check the post-game stats and you've ranked 6th, even though you did 6,000 damage, is because 3,000 damage worth of XP went to your light tank who spotted for you. So Odysseus from the Foxes clan 3 marks his super Hellcat. You weren't so super in the last 15 seconds, but great game. And he finished on top because he did a lot of damage. By far, almost 4,000. Now look at this. The AMX 1357 that I was commending his play, he ends up doing 3,579 spotting assist, and he gets patrol duty and scout. Did not put his tank at risk. You can spot without putting your tank at risk because you can see far. And you have concealment. Where's the other light tank on his team? Which one was the other light tank? LTG. Yeah, that guy that I said, actively spotting, not so good. He looks like he concentrated on doing damage when he was out there. He did over 1,000 damage. He fired his gun 6 times. He did 619 spotting assist. Okay. But these 2 light tanks were better than the enemy 2 light tanks. And they sucked. Look at the Type 62. Spotting assist, 598. And where's the other one? What was the other one? AMX 1357, a counterpart, 1,100 spotting assist. So 1,100 plus 500. This team got 1,600 worth of damage from tanks their light tanks spotted. This team got, I forgot, it was 3,500 plus 4,000. 4,000 damage that this team did was because the enemies were lit because of the light tanks. The 2 light tanks on this team won the game. The 2 tanks on that team lost the game. This guy finished on top because he had targets to shoot that this guy was spotting. If this guy did not spot, he would have done 3,700 damage. He might have done 1,200 because no one would have been lit. And it only cost you half 100K because the Super Hellcat is super. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Leave some comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.